Hey guys, Chris Safety Liner C2 with a new video. So we've got an interesting one to show you guys. I have two FS65s to show off, and if you guys truly do enjoy this, hit the like button, subscribe, and we will take a look at each one and drive each one on clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you off this one to start with. So here we have a 2004 Thomas Freightliner FS-65. It's got the Cat C7 in it, and I believe the Allison 2000 series transmission. Yeah. It's got a yellow roof, no roof logos, which reminds me of a Virginia bus, but we do have a logo right here. The bus is fully incandescent, and it's 72 passengers. Again, fully incandescent on warning lights and headlights, all that stuff. Clearance lights. It's an early '04 model, but it's got the Cat C7. So it's got the high headroom package, which I truly prefer that on any bus, no matter what it is. Here's your stop sign. That's actually Strobing LED. I did test this bus earlier before filming this, so yeah, it's a basic Freightliner school bus, and I love it. I don't know much about Caterpillar engines, but it's actually a late '04, not an early '04, because I believe early '04s you could still get the 3126. I'm pretty sure in the late '04 they started the Cat C7. So we'll take a look on the inside of it. It's fully gray interior, including the seats. There's your roof hatches. So we're going to go and start the bus and show you around the lights so you can hear the engine. So as you can see, it's got the Strobing LED stop sign, but Strobing incandescent warning lights. It's got fender mounted turn signals, which I truly love that. And they're incandescent. Same stuff over here. You can barely see the turn signals, but they're incandescent. The bus also has tinted windows and double nickel body mounted mirrors. But here's a shot of your Cat C7 engine. It says Cat right on it. Go ahead and shut the bus off, and I'll show you the next one. So the next one here we got is a late 90s Bluebird Freightliner FS-65. I believe this would be a late 90s because it has the older style Freightliner grille. Compared to the Thomas, has the newer one. I'm pretty sure this would be a late 90s model year. But again, it has the double nickel mirrors, but this one's got the HD cross views. It also has a yellow roof, but it has a streamer too. It's a full streamer and a yellow roof, which I love that. And it's got the 5.9 Cummins 12 valve. I'll show you a shot of it. Wait. You could tell it's a 12 valve because the 12 valve has these like cylinder blocks right on the top here. But yeah, so this bus also has the beadlock rims, the older style that you'd see on like internationals. But again, the bus is fully incandescent. There's the older style double nickel mirrors. And one thing about Bluebirds, guys, that are before '04 model years is that the ones that are before '04, they have the black paint for the warning lights. They stop it right at the edge. But '04 model years have it like goes right underneath of it to the windshield. But There's a shot of your Bluebird badge. Show you the back of the bus. I'm not really a big fan of these school bus signs on here. They look like they're wonky. But here's all the lights here. They're all incandescent. So go ahead and jump in the bus. And we have brown seats, which with Bluebirds, I prefer red seats. But that's okay. Like, I'm okay with brown seats in here, but there's no roof hatches or anything. So it's a blank interior. There's a shot of the rear Bluebird badge. I believe this would also be a late 90s because it has the older style Bluebird control panel. Has all the smaller switches and everything. And it does have this older gauge cluster, which all Bluebird Freightliners had them. Again, I believe this one would be an AT545. I think because it seems like a late 90s here. But it has a manual door. I've always wanted a school bus with a manual door. So, we're going to go ahead and start the bus and do the same thing as we did with the Thomas. Show you off the warning lights and everything, just like we did with the Thomas. Here's the stop sign out. The Bluebird doesn't have a crossing gate, which I forgot to mention that the Thomas does. It even has the older styling that has like all the lenses too, so that's another reason why I would think this would be a late 90s model year. And it even has the triangular clearance lights. I'll go ahead and start the Thomas up again for you and show you the comparison with their lights. I think this will make a good picture for the thumbnail. I'll take a couple of pictures as we're recording, so. I'll take a couple of pictures here, and I'll probably add them at the end of the video, if I can. From my garage, hopefully I can get a good shot of both buses. Not a bad picture there. I'm going to go ahead and shut everything off, and then we will drive both these buses like I mentioned. I didn't mean to shut the door. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for the review. And like I said, I will get to the next clip of driving these two buses in the same video. I will add the pictures at the end of the video if I can. So we're going to go ahead and get to driving them. So I hope you guys enjoyed the clips, and we are going to go ahead and take a drive on the Thomas first. But hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for the Thomas Freightliner. Now we're going to get to driving the Bluebird Freightliner, so stick around for that. Hope you enjoy. So guys, that's gonna do it for today. And guys, do me a favor, in the comments down below, let me know if you had the time and money and plans to buy a bus and do anything with it. Which one of these two would you buy? Um, the truth is, for me, it'd be a hard one because as much as I love both of these for their specs, I love them both. I would take them both. But if I only had one choice, I would probably take the Bluebird Freightliner more because the thing about that is that Bluebird Freightliners were not as common as you think they were. Like most FS-65s you see, they were mostly Thomases for their era. But one of the reasons I would take the Bluebird is because number one, the engine. I'd prefer a Cummins over a Caterpillar. And plus, with the bus of its era, I'd rather have a manual door. But like I said, I love the specs on both of these, and I've always loved FS-65s. Whether they were Bluebird, Thomas, Carpenter, Crown by Carpenter, which I'll probably do another video on one of those Crown by Carpenter Freightliners and compare it with the Bluebird. I'll do another one of those videos. Like, I haven't done that before. But I figured I'd start you off with these two, so I would take the Bluebird more than the Thomas, but truly I would love both of them in my collection. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and comment down below which one would you take, and like and subscribe. Do all that jazz. But that's going to do it, guys, and thank you so much for watching.